Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the video. I'm GetGoodGuy, and it's that kind of time where Battlefield has a new gun. This time, it's the Trench Carbine, and I think it's absolutely fantastic. No messing about, no wasting time, right into it. This gun is awesome. And that might sound strange to some of you if you've heard otherwise elsewhere. It may also sound strange if you put the gun down before unlocking all of the specializations, or indeed if you equipped what I would call the wrong specializations. And that's where this weapon is somewhat of an outlier. Most guns in the game I say can be used however you see fit, depending upon your playstyle. The Trench Carbine though isn't like that. Now okay, there will be some people out there who prefer it the opposite way of how I use it, and that's, totally cool, but for the vast majority, selecting the Selective fire trigger specialization is going to be the way to go, and that's what makes this weapon both unique and very effective. If you're interested, here's a quick look at how I have the spec tree set up, and that's what most of the footage in this video will be showcasing. So Selective fire trigger makes the Trench Carbine fully automatic. Generally in Battlefield, I don't buy into fully automatic as a specialization or as a variant in Battlefield 1 and all that kind of stuff because it feels unnecessary for me with my trigger finger. Hence why the Braider in semi-auto and the AGM-42 are two of my favourite weapons. But by the beard of Gandalf does it make a difference on this weapon. Perhaps more so as I'm on console. I know it's easier to fire faster on PC with a mouse, but the lethality and ease of use of the Trench Carbine just seemed to skyrocket as soon as it was full auto. I noticed a huge difference in performance. I went from being fairly unwilling to challenge up close to actively encouraging the enemy to charge me. It's not like you have an SMG or anything, but it can certainly hold its own. To the point of, if you're of an ability level where you usually get your shots in first and stay on target, oh, you can destroy as a recon with this gun. And no small point here, this is the only fully automatic weapon available for the recon class, hence the unique factor I mentioned earlier. So if you want to run a gun as a recon, the Trench Carbine has you sorted. But in semi-auto, and I felt like this with the P08 as well, even with a good trigger finger, it just felt awkward. Like I couldn't get the rounds out fast enough to do enough damage, even though I feel like I'm realistically tapping fast enough. That could be the case, or it could be in my head or whatever, but either way, full auto allowed me to just focus on keeping my crosshair on the enemy, and down they went. Happy days. And while it does go from a 3-shot kill up close to something like an 8-shot kill at max range, I believe, it's not designed to be used for long-range engagements anyway. That's what almost all the other recon weapons are for. Plus, if you want to go for semi-auto and hip fire or whatever with a pistol carbine, well then the P08 already existed. That's why I feel like the only reasonable choice is to go for full auto. Otherwise, you're just making something very similar to a weapon that already exists in the game. If you want a little more of a comparison between the two though, well the P08 does a bit more damage at range, but has a smaller magazine and I believe a little more recoil. Either way, the Trench Carbine just wins if you want to go up close and personal as a recon. I guess it is necessary to mention that I'm enjoying this weapon so much because of how I play. If you use recon because you want slower, more range focused and precision orientated play, then obviously the Trench Carbine won't be such a big deal for you. But back to the positives. Even though I mentioned that its damage and rate of fire model makes it a less lethal option than truly designated close quarters weapons, I just had absolutely no trouble outgunning people on a regular basis, and headshots dramatically cut down the time to kill, which is great as they aren't all that hard to pick up with the Trench Carbine. The recoil goes straight up, and with just a little pulling down, you can keep your aim basically exactly where you want it to be with a little practice. Even at say longer mid-range, you'll need to land a few shots for the kill of course, but it's absolutely possible to engage targets should you wish and land pretty consistent damage. And if you hit a headshot, then you'll certainly rattle the enemy. What I really love about the Trench Carbine though, is that it allows you to play in a way that simply isn't possible with anything else in the game. You can go full auto with spotting flares, so you can flare up and hunt down the enemy, allowing you to get the drop on them, making up for that slightly slower times kill, but still fast enough to drop people in CQC anyway. You can put a decent scope on it if you so wish, such as I have in the footage, either a 2x or 3x, something that medics can't do with their SMGs, which drives me crazy. And if you use the sniper combat role, you mark any targets that you land damage on with your primary weapon, so that 1 allows you to plink away at people at range if you want, just to try to mark them, or 2, hit someone up close and hunt them down nice and easily if they try to evade you. And hunt really is the right word. You're going hunting with this combo. Flare up, charge in, mark anyone you hit and finish your kills. A genuine predator of the recon class. Plus, if you're not that way inclined, or you don't feel you're at a suitable ability level to play in that manner, well this gun can also fit well with a lower skill ceiling individual simply due to its ease of use. Landing damage is easy, and you won't be punished quite so much if someone catches you out at close close range while you're a recon when compared with most other, if not all other weapons for the recon class. So, I really love this thing. I think it's a great addition to Battlefield 5, and I'm honestly looking forward to using it some more. Let me know what you think of it, good or bad, in the comments below. Have you tried it yet? Do you want to? Did you give up on it too fast? And all that kind of stuff. I'll let you watch some more gameplay without me blurting on all over it, so you can really take in what this thing can do. There's some good stuff in there, so enjoy it, and let me know a good date for us to grab some coffee and throw rocks at the moon. Alright, cheers. Oh, and the board of awesome will be at the end of the video as well, obviously. Sweet dreams. after having placed the update into the full release, well, it's just undeniably better. There's no two ways about it. Or what about the much larger scale things that could have been different with a CTE? Because not having one limits the changes DICE are willing to make, because all they have is the full game. They either put something in or they don't, and making a change risks upsetting the player base more if it isn't a good one.